Hello and welcome to Board Game Gumbo. Today we're unboxing Under Falling Skies by CGE. This is a one-player game, so it is solo only. It plays in about 20 to 40 minutes. So Under Falling Skies is a game about an alien invasion, essentially, and you are trying to defeat the aliens, or actually you're trying to research the aliens before they can destroy your city. So this is something kind of cool where they pack the box specifically in a way to where you need the stuff on top, and then the stuff on bottom you don't need until you kind of have gone through your beginner games, right? So there is a campaign mode in the game, and everything packed on the bottom of the box is part of the campaign mode. So here's our rule book. Of course, they've got a little QR code here if you want a video playthrough. So here's your city. And here are the aliens, including the alien mothership. And essentially these aliens will be coming down these different columns and eventually doing damage to your city. And you are trying to go up on this research track all the way to the top before they destroy your city. It's basic gist of the game. Of course, there's a lot of different moving parts. There's different ships. There's both the bad guy ships, and then there's these extra ships. The dice you roll are actually what you use to activate. And then, of course, there's all the campaign elements at the bottom of the game as well. So you're going to be rolling dice. You're going to be assigning those dice to different rooms. Where you assign the dice and the value on the dice are going to determine where the enemy ships move. And of course, if they move far enough, they're going to start blasting holes in your city, which is obviously a bad thing. There are several different types of cities you can use. I believe this is part of the campaign, so you won't play that probably in your first game or two as you're learning it. But here are all the rules for the campaign. There's different mission briefings. They've actually blurred it out here. I guess it's they don't want to give out any spoilers. And then you can use, obviously you can use the campaign elements in the base game once you've gone through them. So we're going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go through the campaign stuff at the bottom. I'm not going to stop where they tell me to. So here we have sort of our wooden components. I'm not going to read through much of the campaign, so there won't be a lot of spoilers here. I just want to see the components. We've got our little excavator, which is one of our pieces here. We've got the different dice. So on a normal round, you're going to be rolling these 5 dice, and then these blue dice, I believe, are part of the campaign. These are very nice, chunky wooden dice. I especially really like wooden dice, just personally. So these are nice. You can see that the pips are kind of just painted on. They aren't, oh no, there's a little bit of depth to them. So there is a little bit of depth to the pips, not a ton. I would slightly worry about that color rubbing off, but it doesn't seem to be a problem right now, obviously. Here's all our different ships and all our little different tracking pieces. So here's the sort of the bad guys, the mothership little ships, and these are cool looking little translucent plastic. We've got some extra guys here, some little clear ships, an orange ship, and then our little tracking pieces. So this will track your research track, and I believe that's your energy tracker, and then we got a cube, which I honestly don't remember what that's for, but I'm sure we'll see once we get into it. Extra little bags. All right, so here is our board. We've got a lot of punch out here. So we're going to build our board, and I am making a mess. We're going to build our board here like so. These are going to be at the top like that, or something like that. We've got our city tiles. So we got Roswell and New York. And I believe we use Roswell for the starting game. More boards here. Washington, D.C. Okay. So this is where normally you'd stop, right? So there's our mothership, and we'd have our kind of our purple ships up there. We've got sort of the skyline here, or I guess this would be the other way around, huh? Skyline here, outer space up here. And then down at the very bottom, we've got sort of our city. And then finally, we've got our city tile. So can't quite get all that on screen, but you can see just how sort of intricate this buildup is to this board. And a lot of this is modular. You can see we've got extra boards here. They've got different numbers on them. So this one goes 0 to 4. This one goes 5 to 7. Obviously, this is the B side and so on. So depending on what you're playing, your difficulty, your scenario, what have you, these boards will change. So then let's get into the thing they tell us not to get into, which is our campaign. Okay. So as you can see, that's a fraction of the content from this box. So we've got our campaign log here, keeping track of our cities. You got a couple sheets here. They're double-sided, but it looks like they're different on each side. So I assume you use one sheet for a campaign run, right? So you've got, what is that? 5 campaign sheets here. Obviously it'd be easy to print off new ones, but that's what they give you. And then we get to the bottom here. And so we've got sort of some story going on here. So again, I'm gonna try not to get into too much of the story, but I do want to take a look at the actual components. So far, I've liked what they have. You know, the chipboard here is nice and chunky. All right, this isn't working. I'm gonna have to tear that. So we've got sort of a little comic thing going on here, and then it tells you how to set up for this part of the campaign here. What to change. We've got new cities. We've got some new chipboard that actually has scenarios on it. We've got a new city board. It looks like we've got characters. So a lot of new cool things, new components, new mechanisms. Let's take a look at scenario here 2 real quickly. And again, this is going to be slightly spoiler, but I'm curious. I want to take a look. So it looks like more of the same, more characters, another skyline board to use, new city boards. Okay. So scenario 2 doesn't seem, it seems it adds more, but similar to what scenario 1 added. And again, once you've gone through these scenarios, you can go back and add them to your base game, however much of it you choose to. So again, more story. Looks like more of the same, more characters. So a few little extra tokens that look slightly different from what we had before. But overall, pretty similar to scenario 1 and 2. And then our final one, which is a lot less of it. But again, we got a little story sheet with our little how to set it up and then new boards to include. So that's all the campaign content, which is quite a bit. That takes up a majority of the box. And then sort of the base game, your starting game, is what you see on the table. With your dice and your extra ships and all that. So that is everything from Under Falling Skies by CGE.